For July the 3rd, 2026, we talk about Mole, Pronoun Palace, Order of the Sinking Star, and much more. Welcome to level 589. My name is Kaye Ross.
I'm Dennis Furia.
I'm Moxie.
I'm Ben Merkel.
And you are listening to The Level. It's a podcast for people who love video games. Welcome back, Ben.
Yeah, I think I'm setting a record here.
And also just like welcome back to everybody. We missed last week. We didn't intend to do that, but we did. But we're here now. Ben, what you been up to?
Yeah, I was trying to jog my memory. It's been about a month or so. I saw you more recently, Kaye, in real life than I have on the podcast.
Oh no, that was more than a month ago that you were over here. Yeah.
I think the only thing
6 years.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing in that time is took a trip to the East Coast for one of my partner's friend's wedding, and then got to meet some of my partner's friends from middle school. So we were in Raleigh and Baltimore and Philadelphia. So that was fun. I had never been to Philly before. So yeah, it was a nice little trip. Had a nice week off, but yeah, back to it now. Yeah.
Did you get any like hot middle school goss about your partner?
There at one point her friend brought out the photo album of middle school pictures, so that was my cup overfloweth from that. So
did she have a rebellious phase? Like, does she become a goth at some point?
No, not at all. No.
But my feeling on stuff like that, like if it is information about the past that the partner did not share with you directly, unless it's something gigantic, it's like if someone shows you that, no, they didn't. But as long as it's in good fun.
Yeah.
Set my mind to incognito mode. I will not remember any of this unless you tell me so.
Cool. Let's see here. Moxie, how about you? What's going on?
Wow, it's been a while. So, not this last weekend, but the weekend before was kind of the big weekend for Pride here. Mm-hmm. So, I got about 4 hours of sleep over the weekend. Went to the Dyke March, went to, saw the parade, went to the DuPont block party, went with some friends to the, it was interesting. It was, I guess, drag improv, but it was like also the history of, queerness in America.
Okay.
So, like, talking about, like, for example, there's a lot of evidence that I think, was it McKinley was gay?
Maybe. I don't know.
I might have the present wrong, but there's like he never married and like had a male friend that he's just like, well, I'm not married, so why are you moving to the White House?
For some reason,
is it McKinley?
Yeah, Buchanan was the one who was a lifelong bachelor.
Okay, so maybe it's Buchanan. I'm meaning, Buchanan.
During their
first link
term.
that I see trying to research it is 7 U.S. presidents who were rumored to be gay or bisexual. So I think you got options.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's Lincoln at the top of that. At least there was some stuff in his papers that people latch onto for that.
Yeah. The actual truth is every time they pass anti-trans legislation, we retaliate by going back in time and making one of the presidents gay.
Yeah. Do you think they learned?
Oh, there would be way more than 7 if that was the case.
Unfortunately. You would think that they would learn. Yeah.
So one other thing that's just kind of a funny story. One of my friends, unfortunately, moved into a different state So she needed to get rid of some tatami. So I'm now the proud owner of, 5 tatami mats, which makes a 9x9, kind of square.
Okay.
What I didn't realize is 9x9 is very big in a city apartment.
Yes.
And 2 tatami mats are like 2 inches thick.
Yeah, and they have to be aired out too.
Yeah,
it's like it's really regular maintenance.
So wait, I'm trying to figure this out in my head. 5 tatami mats makes a 9x9 grid.
So there's 4 like rectangular mats and 1 square mat, and there's like different like.
Okay.
I forget what that game is where you put the geometric parts together. There's like different ways. Yeah, because it's like they have to spiral like counterclockwise, or it's bad luck, or there's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
If you're going to lay down a real ass whooping, you put the tatami one way, and if you're just doing some light stretching, you'd put them another.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a lot of tatami to have. Sounds comfortable though.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Dennis?
Nothing too crazy. We've been doing the free summer movies. I can't remember if I've talked about those on the show, but several theaters actually around the area will do like old kids movies at like 10:30 a.m. or something like that. So, no one's there anyway. They make their money off of concessions. Everyone's happy. But I was really excited because Babe was one of the movies that they were showing. Okay. And it's one of those things like Babe
from the director of Mad Max.
Yeah. It is like it's not on any streaming service like for the subscription. You can obviously pay to rent it. I haven't been able to find it in any libraries, but it's something that Jen and I have talked about. Like, we'd be really curious to go back and watch that again. And obviously to share this little bit of almost feels like anachronistic history with the kids. Like I remember a prominent gag in it centers around a fax machine being too futuristic for the farmers. Like that was the newfangled technology. So it's just like, oh man, like this is nice and quirky. I'm for that.
I remember it being pretty dark.
Well, the constant threat of being killed and eaten. It's got the Charlotte's Web kind of deal going for it.
Yeah.
And that's that's a whole thing with farm life, but whatever. And unfortunately, though, or maybe fortunately, I don't know. You decide. We got there, we got seated in the theater, and then one of the workers comes up and very apologetically says, "I am so sorry, we can't get Babe working. Would you be okay if we showed Toy Story 5 instead?" Oh, this was like the week it came out, and I was like, first run blockbuster or quirky movie from forever ago.
Yeah, 30-year-old movie. Yeah.
Yes. Here's the rub though. So we're going on a Disney cruise over the summer, and like the big thing that Jen has been hyping up to the kids is like we're going to get to see Toy Story 5 on the cruise. Oh, that's like we're going to watch it together. And so I had this meeting with the kids.
Now we don't have to go on the cruise at all.
Yeah. Oh man, I think they would have, obliterated me on the spot. But we kind of had the huddle up was like, all right, guys, do we think we should tell Mom about this or nah? Like how well can you guys keep your mouth shut? And everyone kind of looks over at the 5-year-old. And we're like, okay, we got to tell Mom about this.
I love all of them looking at once.
We know who's the narc in here.
Yeah.
But Jen was very cool about it. She's like, well, fine, but you guys have to come and watch it with me on the ship and just pretend like it's your first time.
Kids hate watching the same movie over and over again.
Yeah, I can't stand it. They won't do it for a moment. But it was good on the scale of things. It's not Toy Story 3, but it's also definitely not Toy Story 4. So,
okay.
Passable.
So does it manage to not feel like they're just kind of coming back to the cash cow again?
I don't know. Like, I feel like every Toy Story in some way centers around a toy coming to grips with like, yes, kids are going to grow up and leave us, but we are still special to them while we're with them. Mm-hmm. And at this point, it's just kind of like passing it around to each character, and they're getting pretty far down the chain now.
Is it Slink?
Yeah. So yeah, they've got some fun spins on it. Obviously, they focus a little more on technology.
Here's a question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
iPad bad?
Oh, the better question is
iPad bad.
iPad toy. Mm-hmm. iPad toy good. iPad not toy bad. What is iPad? Now you don't have to see the movie.
Okay,
that's basically it.
Okay. It's an identity thing. Okay.
Let's just say Apple isn't going to be unhappy with them.
Okay.
But they went after like the like interactive book toys are a thing. I think it's Leap Pad in real life, and they just call it Lily Pad in the movie, which is a little funny because they have all these other licensed toys. But they couldn't get this one. And maybe, given the way that they play it, maybe it's good there's a layer of abstraction there. Yeah. Whatever. They didn't step on too.
Because it would feel like an advertisement for it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that was a fun little upgrade. But leaves me now for literally months wanting to show my kids Babe and being too cheap to just do it the obvious way.
I mean, you can Google it.
I imagine.
Yeah,
but then I either have to pirate it or pay for it, which whatever.
Yeah. You need to show them another tradition from our time, which is watching a pirated movie like 1 5-minute clip at a time.
Yes, or the version of episode 3 of Star Wars that has the I forget what. It's like Vietnamese with subtitles, has some very funny translations.
Nice.
I don't know. Any other like super jank movies from your childhood that you have affection for that I can put in rotation?
Oh, I mean, keeping on the animal tip, Homeward Bound.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's got some real tear-jerking moments in it as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but The Brave Little Toaster was like a huge movie for
devastating.
me.
Do you want to traumatize them?
Well, that was just like the first big movie in my life. Like around like 3 years old, we got a VHS of it. And I would just watch it over and over again, not knowing anything that was going on or any of like how horrific some of the scenes were. But
I think it is the second movie. It's so funny. Nothing new under the sun. Because I think the second Brave Little Toaster was about them getting connected to the internet. And it was all again, computer good, computer bad, computer choi. But the lamp has some lines in that movie that I very clearly remember being the first time as a kid watching a movie and being like, oh, that was very sexual and I was not supposed to get that.
Yeah.
From his first time hopping online.
My one that I watched over and over again was Sword in the Stone. And also the books are also really, really good. Mm-hmm. They're one of those rare books that kind of defies genre conventions. So, highly recommend.
The amount of I'd forgotten. I think it's the Sword in the Stone, not the Black Cauldron, but the Sword in the Stone. I'd forgotten the amount of like physical comedy there was in that, where like several of the scenes are just animals chasing each other around and my kids in hysterics. So that's a good pull.
That reminds me, I need to get your kids the Chronicles of Pride in, which is the Black Cauldron. But
yeah, all that good stuff. So
another one for them that I watched all the time as a kid was The Rescuers Down Under.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Oh yes,
yeah. Bob Newhart and Ava Gabor.
Oh, holy shit! Is it eagles that they fly on?
It's the albatross. John Candy voices the albatross. Yeah.
Is the albatross in the first one, or is he only in Down Under?
In Down Under, it's the brother of the first one. Wilbur, brother of Orville from the first one.
God.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Also, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, God, yeah. I figured that was in regular rotation anyway. Why wouldn't it be?
No, it's a blind spot for me.
Oh, God. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is like legitimately a really good movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
It also, like all great children's movies, has exactly one traumatizing scene.
Yeah. When it gets to the section about Large Marge, maybe start gauging the reactions, because there is a jump scare in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very funny. That it makes me think they were watching Great Mouse Detective the other night. And Luke and Milo knew that a jump scare was coming up, and we're like coaching Barrett through it. Like, okay, so he's going to pop up here. Okay, it's coming. Okay, here it's about to happen. And it still had Barrett like basically jumped off the couch. So
Yeah.
they knew how to make him back then.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm glad you got the little free upgrade on that.
Yeah.
I had
a surprisingly rich well there. I've got lots of good ideas now going forward.
I had a good theater experience. I went to the Hollywood Theater for the first time here in Portland. It's like 100-year-old theater. It's like where the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival is like the thing that I know it for. But they're constantly showing old movies. And this was the first year that they were participating in Bleak Week.
Oh, yeah. Ari Aster had a bunch of interviews with that. I think it might have been in the New York one, but...
Yeah. I mean, it's like all over now. It used to be just an LA thing, I guess. So they were showing The Turin Horse, which is a movie by Bela Tarr, an Austrian director, is he Hungarian? Yeah, Hungarian. There we are. Hungarian director who... it makes like incredibly slow movies, and this one is also incredibly slow, but about basically what happens to a father and daughter, like subsistence farmer, when their horse decides to stop moving, and everything kind of like unravels. And when I say slow, I mean like you watch somebody like boil and eat a potato with their bare hands in real time, but it's about the crushing weight of routine and all of that. Like it's real artsy, kind of stuff. But it was really hilarious because like there were people who were not necessarily prepared for what it was going to be, and so like you're sitting there watching and you're hearing like grumbling, and then just like from different parts of the theater at different times you're hearing people snore. So that was fun.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of worse things to stumble into.
I mean, it could have been the director's most famous previous movie, Satan Tango, which is 7.5 hours long, but fucking riveting. Yeah. Anyway,
I would go with worst things to stumble into being 120 Days of Sodom.
Yeah, Sallow would be a pretty rough putt.
Yeah.
You could stumble into the America 250 celebration that is basically empty.
Yeah. How would you know that you were in it? And then
the back rooms.
Yeah.
I do feel like all this year I've been feeling like Trump is is just Nero, fiddling as the world burns. Mm-hmm. But I live in Washington, D.C. I guess that's relevant to this. With everything falling apart at the fair and everything, I just feel like now I am the fiddler.
Oh my gosh. Just the Great American like that state fair as like the backrooms as this liminal space that you could just like stumble into, just like everybody there feeling like completely lost and disconnected.
They also, with liminal space, like when they build it, like, and, all the, paths for the work crews and, stagehands and, stuff like that would have to be there. Mm-hmm. They kind of just build it on the mall. And so, cool. Like, there was a point where it's like, in order to get to your subway, tunnel, you literally have to go through this maze.
God, that's so dumb.
I think it's fitting that this weekend for the 4th of July, we're going to Canada.
So, fun. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a lot of banter. The only thing I was going to mention is I've got one of my teeth is open right now. I had a root canal retreated.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I had a root canal retreated on Monday. They put in one of those temporary crowns, or not crown, but like temporary filling with rubber stuff, and it's all packed in. So like I've got like a fucking hole there right now instead of the full tooth, and it sucks and it hurts. So I'm actually really brave for being here.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's always the case. So.
Let's talk about some video games. To do that, we have to talk about the regular stuff, the regular kind of show, the grind, the multiplayer, and the end boss. And why don't we get started with the grind, where we talk about the games we've been playing over the last period of time or so.
I don't know who's been here the longest. Who could it be?
Ben hasn't been here the longest, so I'm going to default to Ben.
I have surprisingly little, despite having been away for so long.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you were away because you were busy doing stuff. You're on the other side of the country.
But I do got two things, both of them more cautionary tales than happy things, I guess. I'll start off with where I left off like a month and a half ago with Saros. I think I had talked about that game. I think I was like at the end the last time I was talking about it, but was talking about how I think it's after you get to a certain point, the game asks you to go to places that you've already been before. And I think I was at the start of that. And essentially it asks you to do this like 2 or 3 times. And I don't feel like this is a spoiler because I don't think it's ruining anything narratively or anything, but it asks you to beat the final boss another time. And it's like, that's like an entire run to do, and it's like, I mean, you can do it technically in like maybe half an hour to an hour if you start at the very end of the run, but it's like, it was just like so annoying. So at a certain point, I just like, I'm just going to watch the YouTube video. So by the time it told me that I had to like replay the final boss, that's kind of where I got off the train. So watch the YouTube video of what happens. And there's kind of like an ending cutscene and something to tie up the narrative. But even that was like pretty unsatisfying for me. And then after that, I watched a YouTube lore explanation that tries to explain like the context behind the story and like what's actually like going on. 'Cause you go to like maybe I would say like 6 to 12 like different locations and different like settings. And it's not kind of clear how they're all connected. It's, it's all on the same planet, and you have this sense of the history of the planet because you're on the 4th like expedition to this planet. And each expedition has had like a different thing, like surveying, colonizing, and this one's like emergency, try and help people. But like watching like lore videos on it will actually explain like this person's from this mission, they're doing this, like this is what happened to this mission, this is where they are, like it explains like all of that pretty well. Which on the one hand, it was cool, like kind of being able to connect the dots through that and be like, oh, okay, that's nice that there's like a cohesive story there. But then it's kind of bittersweet because it's like, I wish the game conveyed this like at all. And I don't know to what degree Returnal is guilty of this as well. It's like, I think Returnal does a good job of like showing you a bunch of different like parts of the main character's like life, and not necessarily needing to connect it together, but you kind of have a cohesive image by the end of it of like how everything's connected. Like, like, oh, they were doing this at this point in life, then this happened, like, and you don't need necessarily a clear thread. Whereas like this one, it seems like it's much more impactful, like trying to fit everything together. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It just really did not stick the landing as far as like communicating, like, or making you feel like care about any of the characters at all. It's like, for the most part, I had like little to no emotional connection to any of the characters besides maybe like the main character, and like their partner in the game. So it's like, so the entire time I'd be thinking about it is like, what would I do to fix this game? And like, how would I structure the missions so that you can actually feel attached to the characters, or like kind of see the madness or the yellow sun part, like have that be better developed. But yeah, overall kind of bummed. Mechanics of the game are still good. The shooting's good and stuff. Like, so that like game design's good. The presentation of the setting's good. But just as like a whole experience, it's kind of disappointing that the narrative part didn't stick at all. So
how would you compare that to like the Dark Souls style of kind of inference-based narrative? Does it feel different, or is it just you don't like that at all?
That's a good basis of comparison, like maybe the first Dark Souls to this game, because they are trying to do kind of similar things where it's like each like biome is trying to be very distinctive from the other. Mm-hmm. It's trying to have like a diegetic purpose. I would say like with Dark Souls, it's like you can lean in as much as you want to the story, but you don't necessarily have to. Like, I think you could just walk through and just be like, oh, this is a beautiful world. Like great. Yeah, there's some weird stuff happening with like the gods who are fighting one another and stuff, but whatever. But if you want story, like you could lean in really hard to Dark Souls, and there's a whole bunch there. With like Saros, it's like they inject the story in the game, or like they inject all these dialogues and like not necessarily cutscenes, but it's like where you stop and are having a conversation with someone.
Sure.
And they're not really like that high quality. They're not that interesting, and they don't really do a lot to make you, I don't know, feel anything about, like, it's like there's so many random NPCs that you run across, and it's like they might have a different personality or whatever, but like it's just a lot of them talking, or like, but it's not good like exposition. It's just, it's kind of like the voice equivalent of like a text log. And so, but it's like a lot of that.
Yeah.
So that's like what they always teach you in, writing college, you should tell, not show.
Exactly. Yeah.
It just sounds like they didn't commit to the deductive storytelling kind of side of it. And they just had just enough like direct, just enough direct telling to make it frustrating. And feel like they didn't really do the work. They just kind of decided, let's cut this up into pieces and then just here, you take it.
Yeah. And it's, it is kind of like a mixed bag, because it's, again, like the settings are really good, and like all the environmental art is like really top notch. And that's what I was really excited about at the start of this game, where I'm like, oh, this looks as cool or better than Returnal as far as like how the world looks. And I was even more excited because the biomes felt more cohesive, where it's like, oh, this is all in one place. We're not going to a drastically different place. So maybe you can do something really interesting with being in a continuous place and not like kind of world hopping 6 times. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where it lands. Like, mechanics are good. There's a high production in it, but it's just like not that great of a game. So for me, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to move away from that, I guess. But the other thing that I've been playing is actually a demo and not a full game. But I've been playing Order of the Falling Star. This is the next game by John Blow, and who is since in the last decade, since Witness has come out, become much more problematic in my viewpoint than he was.
Controversy acknowledged is what we say.
Yeah. I guess in that time, it's like, this is a very like emotionally complicated game, I guess, for me to play, where it's like, it's like I definitely want to play it because it's a game that's made by somebody who made one of my favorite games ever made, and I've watched him program this game on Twitch over the past decade, and like seen him design like individual levels that I've now played and stuff. But like also in that time, I've seen him claimed to explore all of America and decide that he wants to move to Florida as being the best city in America to live in, and not South Florida.
Oh God! People who are incredibly talented can also suck really hard. Or people who suck can also be really talented, but that doesn't make it easy to praise them for the stuff they're good at.
Look, he put all his points into game design, and everything else was a dump stat.
Yeah. It's just like complicated because it's like I appreciate that he's making a programming language to make games in, and that's what this game is programmed in. But yeah. Anyway, the game itself is it's a Sokoban game, which is like you push blocks around sort of thing. The thing that this has over other Sokoban games is it's kind of like a Steven sausage roll format where you have a overworld that's divided into 4 quadrants in like a X shape. And then in each of the quadrants are different types of puzzles. And similar to Steven's sausage roll, it's like you go over a node and you go into kind of this like freeform like rectangular grid that you can do a puzzle in, and then you can jump back into the overworld when you've solved it. So it's that same sort of format of going down a level, solving a puzzle, then going back to the overworld and like moving to the next one.
So how is he going to do his trick where it's revealed that the micro and macro are linked?
Oh, well, yeah, it's like, I mean, to some degree, he's talked about that a little bit in interviews, or at least pointed to it. But then he also alludes to there being like more there than just that. But yeah, like I mentioned that overworld's divided in quadrants. What that dictates is there's different characters in each of the quadrants, and each character has different mechanics for interacting with these blocks. So to give you an example, the top quadrant is like their D&D type biome, where there's like maybe 4 to 5 different characters, where it's like a wizard, a warrior, a thief, a bard, like that type of thing. And each one has a different mechanic with how they interact with like pushable objects. So to give you a brief example, it's like the warrior can push any number of blocks in any direction. So he has like super strong, whereas like the thief can't push blocks, but they're compelled to steal blocks. So if they move away from a block, they pull it with them, and they have to do that. They don't have an option. Yeah. And then the wizard, if they move in a direction and there's a block there, they will switch spaces with it, and they're compelled to do that. Mm-hmm. So they start to combine like multiple of these characters in the same world and solve puzzles with that. Just to give an idea, there's probably like 50 to 100 puzzles in the demo, and I believe I 100% of the demo. So it starts to get in interesting ways. Like it starts to be interesting how they combine the different characters and how you interact with it. The one thing that hasn't been revealed yet is eventually it appears like you can start taking characters in one biome and have them go to another biome, and then there's interactions like that. But that's not in the demo yet, so I haven't seen any of that, but I assume that there's that stuff there. Cool. Yeah. So besides that D&D type biome, there's a mirror biome where you're a character and you can press a button to swap positions based on a mirror's reflection. So the mirror's always at like a 45-degree angle. And so it's like if you're like a spot in front of it and you press the button, you'll swap down like over and down one space.
Ricochet.
Yeah. And then it works with like, you can do it with objects or with your playable character, and you can move the mirror around. It's like a pushable object. So there's a lot of like space to kind of iterate on puzzles there. So there's a lot of stuff there. It's I will say it's like it's an interesting puzzle game. It's definitely better than your average, like if you just grabbed a random like Sokoban game on Steam that's even like highly rated. It's probably better than that. But that said, like I was surprised at kind of how like clumsy some of the puzzle design was on this compared to The Witness. Like The Witness feels like so airtight with the puzzle design, where it's, you're presented with exactly like one problem, and it's like basically one step from everything that you've learned so far, and you have to like apply it in like this like one direction.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, it's like a lot of like, well, I'll just try this thing and I'll just go in this direction. And there's like probably 5 different ways I could have solved this puzzle, but I guess I did it this way. And okay, I guess I'm done with that. I'll go to the next puzzle. There's a lot of that sort of feeling in this game. Especially there's one section in particular. This is another biome I haven't described, where you're a single character and you're collecting these like pickups, these like gems, and it's kind of this giant single puzzle that you're working through, where you want to eventually collect like 20 gems in this area. And there's these like basically like beams that will change what your abilities are if you're in them. And it's like a wrapped map. Kind of hard to describe, but it's the point of it is it takes you like an hour to solve this puzzle completely. And the thing that again was really surprising about it is there's a lot of ways you can screw yourself over with the puzzle, where you'll have to go back like 20 minutes if you want to reset, and basically undo like solving like 5 or 6 puzzles to try and solve it the right way. Because the mechanics that it's giving you make it really easy to completely screw yourself if you do things in the wrong way. And there's a rewind and there's a reset button, so it's like you can go back to that. But that was one thing I was like very surprised by, comparing it to The Witness and Braid, where it just felt like a lot clumsier than those types of games. So I don't know. It's like I'm probably still going to play this game just to see it through. But yeah, I don't know. And then like the meta commentary is like, John Blow's mentioned in interviews that like their company's kind of running out of money, so they need to release the game so they can make money.
Okay.
And like they kind of expected more money they did a Braid Anniversary Edition that like didn't really sell well. So then it's like, I don't know.
People just don't look back.
Yeah. People didn't want to rewind 20 years for play that game.
Proud of that one.
That was very good.
So in general, it's like just a weird lot of conflicting emotions, where it's like I feel sorry for him on the one hand, because it's like kind of comparing him to Edmund McMullen releasing Eugenics this year, where that seems like much more successful. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's weird.
I mean, for me personally, it's kind of like, okay, Braid not selling well. It would be like, okay, because I'm like super aware of his particular brand of kind of being a horse's ass. That probably explains it. I think that the Braid remake not necessarily hitting and doing especially well, putting them in this particular situation, is that indie games have moved on a lot since 2009. 2008, I forget which one it came out. I think it was 2008, the Summer of Arcade that year. And like everybody who played Braid back in the day, who would be like super excited about like that kind of game, well, they already played it. And I don't know how many like new people, but like new people have probably gone on to play games that were informed by it, most likely, and are not really aware of its place in the legacy. I'm not terribly surprised that the Braid remaster didn't do especially well, and I don't think that he should have been surprised by that either, at least in terms of banking the company's future on it.
Sure.
It seems weird to even do a remaster of a game that's very Pixar stylized. It's not like you can have higher poly models.
Yeah. You can do up-reses of the 2D art of the sprites and stuff, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Not intending to make.
Oh, go ahead.
Not intending to make this a sales pitch for Braid Anniversary Edition, but I think like the added thing was that like they did a lot of like commentary for it and stuff like that, kind of like the Half-Life like commentary nodes. Like I think they stuck that like in the game, and I think that was like the appeal of it. But yeah, I mean, to your point, it's like I already own Braid, so it's like I don't see why I would buy this again. But
they should have put like sneaky new puzzles or areas in it that like are very hard to find, and just waited, because the kind of person that would get excited, and like I see the smile on Ben's face as I say that. That's exactly what he should have done.
Yeah. Order of the Sinking Star.
Oh, yeah. I think I said it as Order of the Falling Star. You're right.
That's fine.
Order of the Sinking Star. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay. Since you had a demo, I will do some demos for myself. As far as like recreational play for myself, I've kind of just been gumming at things, like not enough to actually like, say much about them. I'm honestly like eyes on the prize for a couple of different work things, but also like I kind of just want to play EverQuest Legends, which is coming out tomorrow. As of the time we're recording this, I'm so fucking excited. But a couple weekends ago, I did stream some Steam Next Fest demos from the horror genre, just to kind of check and see what's good coming up. And two of them stuck out. I'm not going to talk about the others because they were just underwhelming. Like, I don't know. I don't think that they're going to make that huge of a splash. These are the two that I think are interesting. The first of which is a game called Phase Zero. This is a real throwback to specifically like Resident Evil 2. You're somebody who wakes up in a hospital after this, outbreak and quarantine kind of thing happens, and zombie-esque people are attacking you. It's tank controls. You get a shotgun. The demo is not the beginning of the main story. It's like a prologue or like side story kind of thing. Like maybe you're going to be dealing with this character, but like it is one of the best at capturing the Resident Evil, the classic Resident Evil feels. Games that I've played, like it is the closest to kind of like getting that, to the point where it almost feels like it doesn't have enough of its own identity. You're going to be fighting different kinds of monsters. Like partway through, you start finding these bodies where obviously something like burst out of them, like it was using them to like incubate inside and things like that. And there's some people like undergoing more profound mutations as well. My favorite puzzle in the demo is you have to get a crank out of the body of this huge mutant kind of thing, but its flesh is too tough for you to like get in and grab it. So you have to wheel it down the hallway in the basement of this hospital to the MRI room and turn off all of the safety mechanisms to turn on the MRI and then just fucking explode that guy to get it out of there. Awesome. So like there's like rad stuff going on in it, which is like totally different than a Resident Evil game will be. I'm excited about it. It's wish listed and all of this. I think it's going to be pretty cool, but yeah, at least as far as what they showed, it does not feel like it has so much of its own identity just yet. Questions about Phase Zero?
It looks cool.
That does sound pretty awesome, though.
The other demo that I played that is good is a demo for a game called Silver Pines. This is a period piece. It takes place back in like 1993 in kind of an abandoned Pacific Northwest town. Tell me if you've heard this one before. You are a detective who is sent there into the town of Silver Pines to get to find this rock and roll star kind of guy who has either gone missing or gone on the run. And then not everything is as it seems with what's going on here. This is interesting because it's 2D and done in kind of like a rotoscoped visual style. The screenshots don't really do it justice for how cool it looks, being kind of like a 3D overlapped kind of like parallax environment with this like rotoscoped kind of like limited frame animation kind of guy moving over top of it that you are controlling. Go ahead.
The way the shadows play in 3D on, like you said, what is a 2D format is really cool. Just from watching the trailer here, it's
super wild. Atmospheric.
Yes.
It looks amazing. It is not just a like an adventure game. You know, you are going around interacting with things, solving close-up puzzles, and reading like reading logs and things like that. But there is combat in this. It's pretty interesting because like you're kind of like controlling your vertical aim as you go, and like trying to like time attacks on stuff that's like leaping at you, and then like doing dodge rolls around it. Additionally, like reloading is its own like little like mini game, almost like an active reload, except just to hurriedly fill your gun with slugs in time to fire at the next time, which is an interesting little kind of take on it.
So how empowered are you? Is this like explicitly a kind of survival horror, limited ammo, that sort of thing? Or do you generally, if you're careful, you're going to fight?
It's very much the former, I think. I don't know. There were enemies that I just kind of like ran past. There are enemies who will give chase as well. It was kind of unclear which ones would do it and which ones wouldn't. But yeah, you need to be judicious with how you use your resources. There's like a crafting system, like a little bit. Also, it's very fun. Like your restock store is like a vending machine, and there are only so many of each item that you can buy in it. So a certain number of bullets and herbs and things like that to mix up and recover your health.
Do they have a briefcase situation then, or like Resident Evil style?
Yeah, it's limited. It's limited inventory with an item box and things like that. So like pretty standard like survival horror gameplay, excepting the fact that it is 2D. Like the 2D movement and kind of adventure game puzzle stuff would remind you of like the Harvester games. So Cat Lady, Lorelei, Downfall. For the 5 other people who have played those games besides me. Yeah. But Silver Pines, it's neat. I'm really looking forward to it. Go ahead.
Talk about the sound design, like music. Like I've been watching these trailers on mute.
Yeah.
It looks like it sounds good. Is that the case?
Yeah, it sounds really good. There's voice acting. It's indie, so I think some of the delivery is not necessarily the greatest, but it gets it across. Yeah, the music and the sound design all work really well. Monster sounds are really upsetting. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. The full game that I played, I streamed this past weekend a game called Mole. Has anybody heard about this?
Have not.
Only from your stream.
Mole. It kind of sells itself like it's not going to be a walking simulator, but it kind of is. You're playing an operator on a drilling vessel, kind of in this alternate history, Soviet-esque kind of setting where, like drilling into the earth, it kind of takes the place of space travel. And like the way that the store makes it sound is that you're going to be doing an awful lot of like real crunchy, like mechanical, like setting and steering the drill kind of things. When in reality, like the operation of the drill is kind of this ritual that you do over and over with kind of like new steps added in. So like, you need to, get the coordinates and then steer. And then it's like, okay, well, you need to set the waypoint. And that involves using like a radio and a crystal and this like diagram, kind of thing. Like there's not enough fuses in the breaker box to power the entire ship. So there's like a little like routine that you have to do every time you move the fuses to different rooms to power them up. And it gets more and more complicated until they have you doing this stuff under time pressure. Which is real cool. Where it's just kind of like, okay, I know the steps of this. This is complicated, but it's not showing me anything new. Just adding new things. The dimension that they add is time pressure, which ends up working really well.
Does Does it feel like they're trying to capture the same energy of like Iron Lung as being like alone on a ship sort of thing with an unknown outside?
Ask, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like this is a little bit of a marriage between like Iron Lung and mouthwashing. Insofar as you are very clearly not a good person who is on this vessel, and you are keeping it going despite the wishes of the crew who you don't necessarily interact with. You find their bodies. And you are acting like on compulsion because like in this world, a signal just appeared one day coming from within the earth called the White Rabbit signal that caused chaos on the surface and like causes people to hallucinate like dead loved ones, beckoning people to get down and free whatever is down there.
Well, that sounds like a fun story.
Yeah.
Interesting. When I watched you, maybe this must have been early on, it almost looked like they were going for like a Omen Ra type of thing.
Omen Ra.
Story where basically there's the main character is a cosmonaut in a Soviet space program that and they basically send him out and they're like, hey, you're going to go out to space. But the Americans can't get you, so when you're done with your mission, you gotta shoot yourself. And he ultimately finds out that like he doesn't shoot himself. He opens the door and finds that his spaceship is like powered by like a bicycle, and he's just in the subways.
Oh no!
Oh no! Yeah, you never. You don't see the outside of the ship.
Okay.
You do go into like headspaces and realms and things like that, but it is meant to feel very claustrophobic, and you're meant to, become very familiar with the rooms and levels that are available to you, so it can be kind of broken out of.
Yeah, it felt weird, imagining how claustrophobic from what you were describing to then see it's big enough that you can walk around and stuff like It's a different kind of claustrophobic, I guess.
It's bigger. It's bigger than Iron Lung in terms of like moving around. Iron Lung is very much just that one room. This is basically again it's like what if a spaceship, like what if a shuttle was a drill kind of. Yeah. It's neat. Like, you do a lot of like cool mechanical interface things. One of this sounds like it's just going to be an aesthetic kind of deal, but like the level of technology in this is that most of the like computer functions that happen are done with special tapes. So it's like a cassette tape to store the data or whatever, but they've got like pin connectors to be like slotted into stuff like cartridges, and so you have tapes for different purposes that will like open doors or like receive navigation data that needs to be decrypted. It's a lot of like juggling like which one of these you're going to put in. It's neat. It doesn't like reach the heights of like either again something like an Iron Lung or like a mouth washing for the story darkness, kind of deal. A little bit more of a walking simulator than I would like it to be, but still neat. Like still one of the better like new horror things that I played this year.
I was a little disappointed that they had an inventory where you could store the little cartridges, because I feel like it would be much more interesting if they simulated you have to set it down and then in a high intensity moment be like,
remember where
the fuck did I put it?
Yeah. Well, it kind of does that because you can leave them. When you slot them in, you can leave them in the machine. So like a part of the ritual is like, make sure to take this.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That has to be one of my favorite pieces of like, design or lore. Kind of, it crosses a couple different categories of like why the UI is bad / frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to think about it more at some point, but very fun to explore the idea of like, the reasons in a game world, why this is so non-optimized or so prone to being messed up.
Yeah. But Mole, it's neat. I like it quite a bit.
Very cool.
Yeah. Who else has got something new?
I have something new as well.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I had a friend turn me on to a game. It is a word puzzle game called Pronoun Palace. Has this crossed anybody's algorithm?
No.
No, but it
Okay.
sounds very queer.
It is, yes, extremely queer. It is like Boggle meets infinite amount of indie queer snark.
Okay.
Is what I would say. And so, it is ultimately there's a grid, and the grid can be different sizes, but a grid of letters that's randomly filled, and you're trying to spell the highest scoring words out of those letters. There's wooden tiles which deal damage, and there's plastic tiles which block. And then there's a series of different characters that all have different abilities. It's set in this like very dystopian future. The party controls everything.
The price on Steam is $19.84.
Yes,
$19.84.
That should tell you all you need to know about the game.
I kind of want to buy it just for the chutzpah of doing that.
Yeah,
I always like
so
that.
much like that in the game.
It's always cute when something does it. Like a lot of horror games will be sold at $6.66, which only works in USD. But yeah.
So this party controls everything and has revoked your pronouns. And you are trying to like fight your way into the party, the palace of the party to get your pronouns back. Mm-hmm. And so there's different classes. It's like, the lexicographer, the jubilant, the fisher,
the anti-sex worker.
Oh yeah, as an enemy. And all of the enemies, versus just like threatening you with damage every turn, have very unique and interesting ways of putting constraints on the board. Mm-hmm. So some will just put an effect on a tile that if you don't play the tile the next turn, it will do damage to you, or it will remove tiles around it, or in a certain number of turns it will explode on you. Others will do things like turn tiles into asterisks, which will just automatically change to whatever the best word would be. Mm-hmm. One of my favorites is I forget the name of it. They all have very funny, snarky names and themes. But the policeman, who is like a blow up doll for some reason, will shoot a hole in one of the tiles. And then you can use that as a space to then submit 2 words if you put the hole in the middle.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very cool. And like I said, they put a lot of intention into, it's not just about dealing damage and blocking their damage. It's all this. So the, the anti-sex worker, attacks with her period.
Okay.
Which literally, first off, there's bleed, and so if you don't play the tile, it'll tick damage on you. Mm-hmm. And then she will add a period to one of the tiles, and oftentimes
that can only be the end. That can only be the last word.
The end of the word, right?
Oh, that's clever.
It's great.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of fun stuff like that. And to go with that, like very interesting enemies, you also will pick up spells as you go along. So everyone starts with a certain different mechanic, and then you kind of add things as you go. The lexicographer, you can see, when you use tiles, new tiles will drop in from the top, and you can see what the next letter will be that drops in, and then the lexicographer's ability is to just remove any one tile, which will then obviously drop in the next one. The jubilant, you don't pick specific spells, you pick categories. So like an offensive spell, a defensive spell, a utility spell, and it randomizes every combat. Which is nice just as a way to like learn the game and quickly see all the kinds of things that it has to offer. It is not the type of game where you're trying to like do a build, right? At least not, it hasn't gotten difficult enough that I've felt pressured to think on that level. It's much more about, having a good vocabulary and kind of seeing ways that you can work around the status effects that the enemies provide. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can affect the board. All the spells are recharged by using a certain letter. So it's like, hey, this spell, you can pick a tile that will get turned into a TH tile. And then you have to use, O in a word to recharge it or something like that. So if you can spell thought, you get to use the TH tile and recharge it in the same turn.
Either word.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing that's great is they have added not just like the dictionary of words, but a ton of internet slang that I think people will appreciate. So
it's got the brain rot.
Yeah.
Yes. In the 1.1.2 patch, they added 4,200 new words, over 4,200 new words. And the ones they listed out were listicle, Spyro, dead naming, pink washed, misclick, call out, fan service, and kink shame.
I love that they include Spiro.
Yeah. and to cap it all off, the other word that they added was clussy, which they note that three separate people requested.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the next update, they say, we added a fuck ton of new words. Just kidding. I only added one new word.
Fuck ton.
The word was fuck ton.
I feel like these aren't one word.
Yeah, well, it depends on how you style it. A lot of compound words in what they're adding.
Every generation hyphenates as they will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Language is as fluid as the gender in this game.
Correct. And that's I guess that at the end of a run, once you get to the party, you come away with new pronouns, which actually changes the look of your character and unlocks new difficulties. And so there is so much intention and thought and like kind of dark humor in the enemy designs that the fact that it's like, oh, you change your pronouns willy-nilly, I know that's not meant with ill will or anything.
Yeah, God, no.
These are the people who get it, like it's said from inside the house versus outside.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the style's on point. The music is great. And it's a real meditative experience just to play through and have a little spelling game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This sounds fucking rad.
It's great. Yeah.
Like, who knows how well the humor will age, whatever. But like, I don't know. I kind of want to just see all the enemy types and like just the ways that they translate into mechanical bits. Yeah.
Yes.
Seems cool.
They do a great job with that. The interesting thing too is that every time you start a new run, or at least a run at a new difficulty, you get notes from the party, and it just the humor in those is equally on point. The one that I'll call out is the Jubilant. Apparently, like wrote a manifesto. Against the party, and the party is like, "Thank you so much for writing that manifesto. We will use it to weed out other people." Who are like you, and also distract them with debating over stupid nuances in your manifesto rather than doing anything useful. And so it's very much like the establishment. This is not a the right wing is bad game, although there's plenty of that in there. It's just the establishment, the party is the party.
Yeah.
And whatever you do, it will be fed into the machine. So yeah. Maybe belongs in Bleakfest a little bit, but I've had a ton of fun playing it. Plays great on the Steam Deck, and I'm sure I will continue playing and discovering new words. As they add them.
Yeah, this sounds fucking great.
And that's the big one that I've had new. So check out Pronoun Palace.
Cool. Anything else?
I have a couple hours in the new season of Diablo IV, but I think that's probably one I need to play a bit more.
Okay.
And then talk about next week.
Okay.
So yeah, Pronoun Palace is it.
Okay. Moxie, how about you?
Yeah, so been playing Diablo 4. I got a fair ways into the end game by the end of the season, although it was kind of disappointing that the reach is a point where it's kind of like there's no point in playing because, the season will end a week, and if you haven't accomplished something, you probably aren't going to.
Yeah.
So that was too bad. But the new season just dropped. I'm rolling a Spiritborn, and honestly, that's about it. I'm like level 10 at this point.
Nice.
So yeah, feels like they've added some sort of new event that's some sort of like rift in space or something.
It's dumb. It's just another reason to have massive waves of enemies on screen. There's not like huge mechanical implications. So yeah, it feels like a season that directly followed a huge new expansion launch a little bit, for better or for worse.
I do like that they're bringing in like pandemonium and stuff. I think that's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So as our Diablo lore hound, make that make sense.
Yeah, so it's one of the other realms, the way that Hell is, and maybe the Abyss.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. So it shows up in Diablo 2, but they don't really give you much story on it. So that's kind of why I'm actually kind of excited about seeing this in this one.
Nice.
Cool. What else?
That's honestly it. I've been super busy with Pride and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't mean to move on from it. I just
I
don't have
covering bases.
Yeah, I honestly don't have a whole lot.
That's fine. Summer, it's busy. Like we're adults doing stuff. Sweet. Well, I'll have something new, not just a Request Legends next week, but I have my 4th of July party is going to be a rock band party. Going to that. I'm not hosting it, but it'll be a real fun time.
So I have to
Okay,
ask,
you truly are among your people.
Yeah.
For EverQuest Legends, have they increased the healing speed to be more in line with a modern game? Because that's the only thing that kept me from going back to EverQuest.
I don't know that specific. They say that there are a bunch of like updates to make it kind of more soloable, but also more modern. So
that would be nice,
like, including being able to play 3 classes. Like you pick 3 classes for your character. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. That's a segment.
Mm-hmm.
Multiplayer.
Now it is time for the multiplayer, where we ask you a question and you answer it. Let's see here. Dennis, what is the question that you asked the nice people?
Yeah, we can all think of video game, movie, or other medium adaptations that sucked, but what about some that were really, really good? So which games have translated exceptionally well into another medium?
Yeah. And I'll get us started with Maddie, who says, the Fate series. Originally visual novels, they've been adapted to manga and animated series and features. Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero are awesome, and the new series, Fate Strange Fake, is a spin-off of the series with absolutely gorgeous animation and a 100% rule of cool way of storytelling.
I can't believe they didn't mention Fate Apocrypha that gave us Astolfo, the patron saint of femboys.
I am unaware of that. Yeah. The Fate series has kind of like been on the edge of my periphery. Just in terms of my awareness, like I never played a lot of it. Isn't like the original one, it's like a harem game, but the other character, it's like King Arthur's court kind of stuff. Yeah. But all of the knights are ladies. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I will trust Maddie. And I know that it is very profligate. There are a lot of it is expanded out quite a bit.
If the fan art alone is any indication, yes.
Yes. Let's see here. Ben, what does Troy say?
Troy says, incoming gamer dad answer, but Wreck-It Ralph. Though not a direct video game to movie adaptation, the references and character cameos are awesome, and the actual plot is extremely well done, IMO. Plus, John C. Reilly is hilarious.
Yeah.
True.
Cannot argue with that.
I'm trying to think, what other games are named after the villain?
Oh, man.
Games named after Space Invaders.
Yeah.
Start at the beginning.
Yep, that works.
Yep, reasonable.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more. I'm just
I guess
drawing a
Infamous,
blank.
Technically.
Maybe.
Oh, I guess
it's more referring
Metroid.
to than.
Yeah, Metroid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here, and then round us out, Moxie with Callum.
Callum says, does D&D Honor Among Thieves count? The answer is yes. Brilliant adaptation of a tabletop game that perfectly captures the feel of tabletop RPG gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I could go on about this. I love this movie. Not so much
good.
Yeah, and not so much that it was like, like the greatest movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's basically a fun movie, but
it's just the kind of like a fun fantasy adventure movie that just kind of doesn't get made anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel like it does a really good job of capturing a lot of the feel of D&D and like the weird world stuff with while trusting the viewer to like understand what's going on. Mm-hmm. So like I like that the tiefling, they're just like, oh yeah, people hate me because I have horns and a tail, and like doesn't need to be like, and one of my ancestors was a fiend, which is the general name for demons or devils.
Yeah. It was just like unabashedly a Forgotten Realms product that I adore it. We should have 2 more of them by now.
I just realized that movie and Baldur's Gate 3 came out in the same year of 2023. And D&D fans are not going to eat that well for a long time.
No. I don't know if we ever will again.
I think my favorite part is, what's the actress that plays the fighter?
The barbarian that plays
Michelle
Olga.
Rodriguez?
Yeah.
I like that they kept with the she dies in every movie she's in.
I mean, temporarily they kept it like that way.
Yeah. But I feel like that had to be at least somewhat a nod to that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, and to respect the gaminess of what it comes from, I always love that, like the emissary that they're trying to talk to at the beginning, his name is Jornathan.
No, Jarnathan. Don't bite your tongue. You do not mispronounce Jarnathan's name. I fucking love Jarnathan.
Me too. But like everyone has had that moment around the table where the GM has to come up with a name on the spot, and then there's like 15 minutes of hilarity of people just laughing at how bad the name is.
Yeah. Just like and like a lot of the names in the movie are just like regular names, so like with one syllable slightly changed.
It reminds me of the Forgotten Realms, or no, it was the D&D MMO they made where like Gary Gygax voiced all the voices.
That's cute. Oh man. Yeah, so those are the answers everybody else gave. Dennis, I will have you start with yours, since it would have come back around to you.
Oh yeah, all right. Put me on the spot, will you?
Yeah.
I got a picture on the thing to remind me. That's the prerogative I have. Sure. So I really, really love the recent spate of Sonic TV shows.
Okay.
And so if you've checked out from the Sonic franchise and haven't looked at particularly Sonic Boom, which I think it's like a 2014 series or something. So it's not super new.
This is a controversial opinion, by the way.
Really? Oh, yeah. Well, some people have no sense of taste. So, But just the writing on it is so excellent that you can just tell it's the kind of project where, like, all right, it's a Netflix cash in, let's put out a kid's show with Sonic on it, they'll eat it up, whatever. And then some writer was allowed to just go hog wild, and really, really live their best life through the project.
I would love if it turned out to be the same guy that got to do that with the Sonic Twitter account.
I looked up the writer at one point, and they had done something else of note. It wasn't Invader Zim. It was some other thing where, like, I saw the series they were on before. I was like, okay, that is the caliber of person that they got for it, and they really shone. So good on them. There's like Sonic Prime, which is like a multiverse kind of thing. Still for kids, a little bit more, a little bit less goofy, we'll say, but also still very humorous. And that one does it pretty well as well. So yeah, Sonic games, have kind of fallen off a cliff, but I've been happily surprised by the Sonic media I have seen through my kids.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, this is your kids, obviously, like they like it.
Yes, but unironically, I would watch Sonic Boom on my own.
Okay.
Just it was me sitting on my computer with the kids watching on the TV on the wall, where I can see it, and the amount of times I scared them by suddenly laughing out loud at something on the show, it was pretty high. So
Jolly's going to be hosting next week, right?
Let's see. So I'll do mine. It was going to be Dungeons and Dragons, because that is, I've consumed a lot of these. I've consumed a lot of these through adaptation to Kaye, and we have, we kind of have an ongoing discussion, a way we evaluate video game adaptations, which is like, how good of a product is it and how good of an adaptation is it? The original, the original Mario Brothers movie is a bad adaptation but a good movie, and the new Mario movies are good adaptations but bad movies, right? To kind of give you a sense of the distinction with that. So like we've done a lot of these, and like the ones that have stuck out, like, I don't know, to me, like, recently, I mean, I'm probably going to take somebody's here, but like the Fallout series is probably the best. At least the first season. I've not seen the second season, because I heard it's kind of rough, and I don't know that I want to see them do that to New Vegas just yet. But then, Fallout season 1 is especially good at being an adaptation and a very watchable show. We just did an episode about Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which is a good movie and is not an adaptation of a video game, but has so much video game about it because of its source material and that inspiration,
and resulted in a really good video game.
Oh yeah, and there's going to be another one too from the same people. It is
a video game adaptation with video game being an adjective, not a noun.
Yes. I mean, I don't know. I'll jump on this, and because I don't know where I'm going to find another chance to talk about it. But I recently watched the meme show, the Tumblr show, the one the kids are into, the Amazing Digital Circus.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I watched that just because of the finale. People were saying stuff, and I was like, "Oh, I want to check this out." It's really good. It takes a couple episodes to find its footing. It looks like it's going to be way more annoying than it is, particularly because of one character, the kind of the Chattertooth character guy. But it's real funny. There's a lot of heart to it. But like every episode is like they're trapped in this VR world, and they've got like basically a digital AI dungeon master who's essentially Am from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, but is not aware of his malice, who like takes them and makes them go on adventures, which are just like different video game genre pastiche kind of things. Like one episode is literally
go ahead.
Well, one episode is literally like, what if we did it's like a cozy game, like about running a fast food restaurant.
So
yeah.
I was about to say that is the episode that like I had some feels about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that
mainly
good.
this kind of a spoiler, so I guess the way it ends, it was really weird. Me like going to the comments and like all I'm seeing is like, oh, what a funny twist ending, and being like, no, that was clearly a suicide attempt.
Yeah. No, she fucking runs out in front of a truck, and this happened to her in real life. Like this is her repeating a pattern. It's fucking awful. Yeah. But yeah, Amazing Digital Circus captures a lot of video gaminess to it. That I think, the conversation obviously now is about the kind of the trans story that is in it, which is itself heartbreaking and well done. But yeah, just like the actual premise of it is like, what if all these people were forced to do video game stuff forever?
So for what it's worth, I also like Murder Drones from Glitch, although I could see the characters annoying you, and if they annoy you in the first episode, they don't really change.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Let's see, Ben, how about you? Adaptations.
I have one going the other direction, which is Alien into Alien Isolation, where video gaming the like radar where you can see the alien and the flamethrower. I thought that was all like pretty good. So.
Dude, we could do like a triple like Alien to Alien versus Predator to like Alien versus Predator the game.
Back to Alien versus Predator the movie. So Alien and Predator, Alien versus Predator the game to Alien versus Predator the movie.
Suddenly we're doing the producers here.
As much as I have problems with Alien Isolation, like it does so much to adapt the feel of that. Like just all of the interface stuff, and that is amazing. Yeah. Moxie, how about you? Round us out.
Sure. So go with kind two, but fairly quick. I feel like the low-hanging fruit answer is Edge Runners.
Okay. Yeah.
However, and that is undeniably the better of the two I'm going to talk about, but I feel like the one that kind of has a place in my heart is the Devil May Cry anime. Actually, for me, both, but particularly I'm talking about the new one. Particularly just like, I like it does a good job of capturing like Dante and having him be a likable character, that sort of thing. And then Lady is just delightful.
Have you watched the second season?
I have not.
Okay, don't. The first season I'll go to bat with you on. I started the second season and literally could not finish it. It was so bad. For several reasons, but yeah.
Dennis
first one
may
at least
cry.
is passable. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for answering. If you'd like to participate in these, go to follow us on Blue Sky at thelevelpodcast.bsky.social. Watch for the prompts to go up on Monday afternoons.
The End Boss.
Now it is time for the End Boss, where we talk about things that are happening in the world of video games and how we feel about them. Ben, I'm going to go with you first because this is the story that people have been talking about, I think, the most since we were last here.
Yeah, I was just going to gripe about the GTA 6 announcement. I believe it was like around a week ago, maybe they first announced this, where they announced the pricing model of how it's going to be, where there's a $100 version of the game and an $80 version of the game. And basically the $100 version gives you gives you access to like in-game locations that you won't be able to access on the $80 game, like stores and stuff like that, as well as like, I believe like different like car customizations, things like that, like a lot of like cosmetic things. That's one piece that was interesting. The other piece was that it is going to be digital only, like no physical disc for the game, which I guess charitably you could say maybe it's too big that they wouldn't fit on a disc. But I don't really care. Like I would rather have a physical copy of my game. So I think all of this has kind of turned me off of the game. Because to be uncharitable, it's like they have not made a good game since San Andreas, or they have not reached that height since then. So I feel like they're kind of like over leveraging the will that they might have. I don't think they have like the goodwill they might think they have, and are basing it just on like solely the profitability of GTA 5 over the past 10 years for the people who play it online. But
ironically, they have become the type of person that GTA traditionally makes fun of.
Type of company, rather?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Which, according to our government, is the same thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Kind of a bummer. Kind of stifled my excitement about the game or what was there. I don't know. It's just kind of the sentimentality now is just like, I might just not play this game. Like, I don't,
I can't wait to find out that GTA 5 was lightning in a bottle.
It's just too big. Like they've spent too much money on it. Like it almost like, I don't know. I feel like this is Grand Theft Auto 6 very particularly is a bubble, and it almost, even at this price, can't meet the performance expectations that they have for it. And it's funny because, like, a lot of that, I have to assume that budget was put into like, oh, we're making the city, we're making the story, so like this is just like, we need to like recoup as much as we can on the single player experience and make the money off of those people, and then just kind of counting on the whales and the people who are going to want to play the new GTA Online, buying in and, giving them the disproportionate return, like later on. I don't know. The pricing stuff and we're just selling you a code in a box side of it, which is complicated but disappointing. Plus the labor practices at Rockstar just kind of generally just kind of give this thing a real stink around it, to the point where like kind of nobody that I know is super excited about it.
Yeah. It would be one thing if there's a Reddit post about this too, where it's like PS2 had 3 GTAs, Grand Theft Auto 5 has had 3 PlayStations, and it's like, I think it would be different if Red Dead Redemption 2 or Grand Theft Auto 5 kind of like, it's like the original Grand Theft Auto games, like all the game design decisions were in the service of like fun, making a playground that you could hang out with, but then like so much more of the last 2 games they've done with RDR2 and GTA 5, it's like, we want to make this a simulation, like an accurate simulation of everything. And it's like, but why? Like, I didn't play these original games because I wanted this really accurate simulation. I wanted to play it because I wanted a sandbox to play in. And so,
was it Red Dead Redemption 2 that had like the temperature active like horse genitals or whatever?
That's right.
Yeah, if it got cold, the balls got small. Yeah,
I guess it is like like the fun parts about Red Dead Redemption 2 is like, okay, I'm going to go off and like go on a random encounter. I'm going to like find this person, or like do something in a town, or like hog tie someone up and like do something with, it's like, where it's like that's kind of the sandbox. But even then, it's not as like fun as the original Grand Theft Autos. But it's like the game itself is getting in the way of you having fun, or like the missions that they have of like a random chase or like shootout and stuff. It's like sometimes they're okay, but anyway, we'll see what happens in November.
I think it is inherently an evolutionary dead end for video games, like this particular kind of project. Go ahead, Dennis.
Just the pie chart for how we'll see what happens in November is used. It's so incredibly small.
Yeah, I worry about if this fails or if this underperforms. Like basically, there's no possible way in which Grand Theft Auto 6 can be good for games as a whole, and that is really fucking a bummer. That's a real bummer.
I feel like, though, I'd rather it unperform than overperform, because I'd hate to see what would happen if game execs learned lessons from this.
Yeah. I don't know. And that just on top of all the layoffs that are happening, like none of us brought that particular story because I think it's still developing. Like right now, it's just, Xbox has had all these layoffs and now they're going to be fucking doing more and more studio closures and stuff, just continuing to do it on and on and on. I don't know, just shit's not really good. And the Grand Theft Auto 6 just kind of being here like, haha, here's a patent tree of this excess is not, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you started making this kind of game before it became completely unsustainable to make this kind of game. And now, like, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Let's see here. Speaking of unsustainable, Dennis, what's going on with the Game Pass?
Yeah, never trust anything that Microsoft says ever is what's going on. A staple of Game Pass has been Call of Duty. And especially for people like we're all way deep in games, and there's a significant portion of the population that they're going to play the new Call of Duty, they're going to have their fun with it, and that's like the thing, and that's fine. But those people have come to expect that they can use Game Pass as their way to get Call of Duty.
That's relatively new. That's since the merger. So like this has only been true for like a year or two, I think.
For Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7, it's been true.
Yeah. Continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're fine. So, yeah, not like it's been that way forever, but like people making decisions about how they're going to get their games in the past 2 years have heard Xbox explicitly say that this is going to be the protocol going forward for Call of Duty. They will be day and date on Game Pass at launch. However, now they're saying, oopsie, Call of Duty 4 is not going to be that. And it's amid all of the Game Pass identity crisis, pricing scandal, whateverness. And Call of Duty 4 was pulled off of that, I think for like, it's going to be on Game Pass, but only like a year later or something, which is like, that's when the next Call of Duty comes out, motherfucker. So what are we doing? Yeah. And the change is such that they have to advertise. And so if you look at their new ads, there's a big line that says not on Xbox Game Pass. As it urges you to pre-order.
Wasn't that one of their arguments for their merger? That was one of the reasons they allowed the merger to go through.
One of the big reasons for the merger being allowed to go through wasn't necessarily that it was going to end up on Game Pass. It was that they wouldn't console lock it. Yeah, that I think that's what you're thinking of.
So I thought though, kind of their argument was to say, oh, see, we can't, we would have no reason to console lock it because we're effectively giving it away.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. That was a dumb merger and shouldn't have been allowed to happen.
Yeah. Less from a why they should be allowed to do it standpoint, and more from a here is why this is good for consumers standpoint.
Yeah.
And they're even ripping that back. So just silliness. And I hope like the negativity that they're going to get from if they're advertising it this hard and this clearly, like it's not going to be on Game Pass now, they know they done fucked up. They know they're going to have a lot of people who check into Game Pass to play the new Call of Duty that are going to be pissed as hell when this thing comes out. And I would expect another reckoning for Game Pass membership when this happens.
It's just so fucking funny how rudderless that company is, like just, hey, we'll do Netflix, but for games. And it's like, it's not going to work out. Is that a really good idea? Don't worry, guys. It's going to be real fun. Come on. All these studios, hop in. And sorry, having trouble. Well, we need a bigger name. Let's get Activision. Let's do this big merger, which was pretty much only really allowed to happen because Bobby Kotick was a huge donor. And like, okay, we'll bring this in. We need to sweeten the pot. We need a big game on Game Pass. So Call of Duty, buckle up. It's your time. You're on Game Pass now. But that makes Game Pass so expensive. Nobody wants it. Well, we need to get rid of it. Well, now we're back to where we were before, except Game Pass is still more expensive. In addition to the machine that they are trying to sell it on has been raised. A new Xbox is like $800 at this point.
It's fucking
for
ridiculous.
6-year-old hardware, 6.5-year-old hardware.
I still maintain the only play that made sense would be only publish on PC and produce a Xbox that is just a PC in a box.
Steam machine. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that to me feels like the obvious alternative they could have done.
Yeah. But no, it's got to be, I don't know. I don't think anybody knows what they're doing.
No. Trying to find the hype to get the stock numbers to go up.
Maybe more layoffs will do it and just poke in a corpse.
Looking at the podcast as a whole, it is kind of a sad deterioration into like this rudderless industry where it's like, I don't know. Do games come out anymore that are fun?
I maintain the last good game I played was Bloodborne.
Somebody, there's a very good Blue Sky post, which was the video games company has discontinued its product, video games. I brought a frivolous story just because there is so much bad news. People have figured out who Jill Valentine's boyfriend is. And it's Kyle MacLachlan. Yeah. Hey. So in the original Resident Evil 2, there is in the STARS office a whole bunch of Easter eggs. Like you don't see any of the STARS members, but you see their desks, and they obviously belong to the different characters with little doodads and things. And they're on Jill's desk in the original version. There is a picture where whoever looks at it says like, "Oh, that must be Jill's boyfriend" or something. It's a young man, and it's kind of at a weird angle, and it is really, really down-resed. It's impossible to tell. But people were just like, okay, so who is this? Because people need to know everything. The children hunger for lore, as we see on the network a lot. And, this has been a mystery for, decades at this point, coming up on 30 years. In the Resident Evil 2 remake, they replaced that photo with just a picture of a golden retriever. This must be Jill's dog. So no answer there. But someone on Twitter, kind of just said like, hey, I've done a whole bunch of, just like analysis and searching, like dedicated myself to this project. This user's name is Morio. And, by down-resing and compressing a production photo, just like a promo photo of Kyle MacLachlan from around the era of Twin Peaks. No, this matches. Like it is incontrovertible, like the same colors, same composition, same everything. They also found out that other photos are just kind of like similar. Like there's a photo of the cast of Back to the Future 3. Their photos other.
I was building the headcanon that she just printed out a photo of Kyle MacLachlan and had it on
so
her
dreamy.
Desk. Like, yeah. That's what I want. Don't ruin it with other examples.
It's like, oh, this is going to be so low res, like nobody's going to be able. We just need something like a photo to stand in. So let's grab a bunch of like movie promo shots, and that's what they had. So fun little mystery. Pretty sure we solved it, and by we I mean that person.
Very cool.
Yeah. And Moxie, what have you brought to us today?
Yeah, this is another kind of fun one. There's a website called mechanical-pencil.com that basically has in-depth kind of, cross-section or kind of sort of like explosion diagrams of various just common products and then explain step by step the engineering principles behind them. So like obviously with the name he has a mechanical pencil, but the one that caught my eye is basically an in-depth breakdown of how one of those pullback toy cars work. And to give you an idea, like he has, one of the first things he goes to is like, all right, we have these two gears. Here's how you calculate torque. So, like, it's straight up, like, explaining all of this stuff in very understandable ways. So, highly recommend.
Yeah. I like this. has a few, like, it's not just like mechanical pencils. It is like just a diagram. Like, here's the industrial design of the Bic mechanical pencil that you are thinking of when you think of a mechanical pencil. Exploded out in these diagrams with fun animation and lots of explanations. There's a Pez dispenser, a Zippo lighter. My favorite of these is the Pilot G2 retractable pen. Yeah. Neat. I love this explainer kind of stuff.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
They have a nice like little layer of interactivity where you can like, click to expand things and put them back together, or to like wind it back and then wind it forward. And that is very cool.
One of my favorite things is that the Zippo lighter one only covers how the lid works.
But it's a mechanism. Like, it's actually very thoughtfully designed. Very, very thoughtfully designed. I don't know. As a kid and even as an adult who fidgets and takes shit apart, this is neat. I like this. Cool. Well, how does everybody feel about buttoning it up?
Let us button.
The credit.
Thank you so much for listening to level number 589. If you want to help out the podcast, you know what to do. Leave ratings or reviews. Tell your friends. Subscribe wherever you can. And consider backing on Patreon. Patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. And get bonus content and things like that. We're going to be trying out doing more stream stuff. Gary and I are doing like a pilot stream of just like an in-person thing now that we're in the same place. Over in my place, that will have happened yesterday as of the time you're watching this or listening to this. So check that out. More developments on that front. Kind of a mixture of standing appointment stuff, kind of like my horror streams. And then, I don't know. I am setting things up to where I can just go live with like layouts that are not horror themed if I decide I want to stream other stuff at different times. So that's been a lot of what I've been working on, is a lot of like, I don't know, learning how to get that stuff set up. Anybody else have anything to plug?
Not I.
Okay. I have been Kaye. You can find me on Blue Sky at kaye.zone.
I've been Dennis. You can find me on Blue Sky at Furia Games.
I'm Moxie. You can find me fiddling.
I've been Ben Merkel.
And stick around for some titles. I only have one, but I liked it quite a bit. People just don't look back.
So I had two. I had I'm very brave for being here. And I had language as fluid as the gender.
Okay. Ben, did you have anything?
I just had Dennis May Cry.
I was about to say we had no repeats, but now we have a repeat.
So you also had Dennis May Cry. What else did you have, Dennis?
I also had Dennis May Cry. I had It Looks Like It Sounds Good. And then I also had Patron Saint of Femboys.
All right, how are we feeling?
How did you style the first one again?
I styled it. It's literally just people just don't look back. Just the written out like that.
Okay.
I can get behind that. Obviously,
I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. It is. Oh, what?
Sweet.
Oh, okay. I thought you said wait. I was like, okay. That is decided.
No.